Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. Now, we're picking up right where we left off at Chapter 10, House, August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Yeah, so if you remember from last time, we were just finished up on the prison levels, where it ended with us
to me,
finding
this
a phone
environment
booth
is meant to represent Coda's puzzle.
and talking to
with
ourselves.
two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
This is like a metaphorical larger version of the space between the doors. So like there was a door down there that we came from, and there's a door up there that's the next door. But there's this house in between. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
Right.
From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me, a place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. A lousy home makes home loners. We are cleaning this whole place. I'll say, it'll be nice. This place is nice. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't you just, why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you can do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, you can go, please clear the table. Yeah, clear the table. Much nicer, that's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed. Okay. Oh, that's the bathroom. Bedroom. There we go. Make the bed. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. There we go. Yeah. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? Or it's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. I'll say, how'd you end up doing this job? A friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I might have got some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put this couch all in a mess. Would you come out and straighten these pillows here? Here we go. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up? As long as you're over there? Sure. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Or, yeah, I'll try to get by. Do you absolutely have to? I'll say, yeah, make it especially cheesy. I think he doesn't say it, does he? No. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Oh. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best as you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just humans. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Oopsies. Oh, it's over this way, yeah. Here we go. Perfect. I beat him to the punch. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. Yeah. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you. Yeah. And eventually cohere into something meaningful.
House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Are all houses this easy to clean? Do these chores ever end? I'm gonna say the second one. Are all houses this easy to clean? Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses, and among all of these, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences. And none of them will be the ones that were easy. Right. Just something to think about while you smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why it felt so weird about saying that. I get it. That's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Or, yeah, you're right, that's pretty cheesy. Or 3, but there's a bit of truth in it, no? I'll say 3. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, god damn it. So, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Yeah. I believe you can do this endlessly.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Ooh, question.
But,
do you enjoy this?
Of course, it can't last.
Oh.
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Oh god, this game's gonna start giving me existential dread again. It's moments like these that give me that existential dread. Yeah, all the walls disappear and your companion's gone. The house just no longer needs cleaning. And the door is now open. Something about this door seems so ominous and foreboding. The fact that it looks down at the house and the nice warm space down there. And we found another lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Loading September 2009.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Right. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to be perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your life, in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I tend to make you into that person. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp, and the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly.
About halfway through the game,
effortlessly.
Shifts.
This is so easy. It's so easy. It is so easy. Being perfect is effortless. God damn it. And then this is really interesting. So you got, this is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? And then you've got two
as the teacher.
Other options.
Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Oh, right, we can move around now. Kids should not follow their dreams. Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. And there's the student that I was playing before, who's listening. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you're torturing yourself, trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. I'm standing on the desk now. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Oh, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. I'm gonna choose all the bad answers. There is no truth. There is no path. Just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Okay, I'm gonna... What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy shit. Holy shit, you guys. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out. Holy shit. That's the ecstasy. Nothing. No one. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone, run. Just run.
fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have.
Yeah, perfection.
To, assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Run!
I think about this game a lot these days.
Oh dear. January 2010. Ugh. English.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
I think I know what this one might be. This one's really concerning. It's really difficult. It makes you feel pretty terrible. Jesus Christ. Oh. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Right. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room, in this chair, is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Oh, right. Probably still standing here, I'm assuming. Hello? Sorry, I have to leave. Or where is the bathroom? Hello? Hello? Is that it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I'm gonna go over to them. It's weird standing against the wall here. Wise, happy, successful, focused. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's just that you need a better feel of the setting. There are a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learnt to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? I'm going to say number 3. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. That's right. There's a lamppost there. She's like, or the person who's here is like, try stepping back from the stage. Yeah. You can just keep walking in this direction. Back further and further. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what I like.
It was like a premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. I'm not going to do that. That's right. What's going on? That's right, because everyone's blind, isn't it? Yeah. Help, I'm blind! Everyone's blind. I forget how you solve this. Please, someone talk to me. There was a giant door and then my vision went black. Can't you do something? Can't you fix this? Yeah, then you just keep looping, if I'm not mistaken.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
What's going on? Are we going to crash? Everyone's blind. There was a giant door and then my vision went black. Please don't let this be forever. I think it's just... Is it just the choices? I think you just gotta choose the right dialogue options, if I'm not mistaken. What's going on? No, it's the guy up there, that's right. I was actually close already, last time. Go up to this guy. He has the truth. The only way to stop us is speak something that is honest. Bursting with creative energy. No, that's not that isn't truthful. So yeah, you have to go up to him and say something that's truthful. I know exactly what line he wants me to say, but I want to see what he says if I say the other lines. So, only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. My work is always fun. No, that isn't truthful. Is he gonna give me another choice, another chance? Nope. Okay, I think I have to do it the first time or else it doesn't work. Again, speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Can't figure out how to say the thing. You're doing it, it's working. I'm stuck in it. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Hello? Where am I? What is this? Hello? That's usually my first response to being in a white void. Where did this island come from? How do I get out of here? Hello, is anyone there? Hello, is anyone there? I'm very person-oriented. Is that a person? How lovely! It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm in a white void. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'm gonna go with what I think it wants me to go with. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? This particular level is super meaningful for this overall narrative. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me, to start it again. I think both of those are basically the same answer. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it. I know why it stopped. I don't think that's the answer that... I think that's me wanting that answer.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Yeah. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Deal? Deal, or... Doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're going to end up right... We're going to end up there one way or another, right? I'm gonna say deal. I like being the nice one. Perfect! Come along, I'll show it to you. Yeah, it's actually a really cool space. Really interesting.
From my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Here's the puzzle. What do you think? Hey, I recognize this, or I've solved this puzzle before. This is easy. Say, hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to close the door, first you have to open the door, first you press the switch on the inside. First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Wait, open the first door. So yeah, it's close the first door. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, what's next? Now just close the first door. Now just open the first door. Now just press the switch in here. Huh, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
I can't believe I never solved this
before. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Okay, here we are. What are you talking about? There is no machine here. These are just words on some walls. Oh, I don't like the backwards crying. There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see it. Yeah, these are all the responses. Trying to find this engine used particularly to start it again. Trust me, you'll see it. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Alright, making games is effortless. That feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy, it never stops being easy. Yes, that's wonderful.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated
These are responses from other games.
Seeing him so trapped. It's like,
keep going.
Video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Every time I make something, I feel bitter about myself. Just never stop creating, and you'll never feel bad. It's such a simple solution. Never stop creating. You'll never feel bad.
This is someone I really cared about.
Perfect.
And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
No. None of this is helping. We're gonna vomit. Please, where is the machine? Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually. Ah, dear.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
There's no shame, no fear, no guilt.
I wanted it to stop more than anything.
I'll be saved by my work.
I never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
I'll be saved by my work. I believe this unquestioningly. I am a vessel for certainty. Good, well that's it. I'm free. I'm free. And there's a crying woman on the inside of the prison.
After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I don't know how much more of this game is left, actually, now that I think about it. It's May 2011, I think, is the date it said. Ma'am, I'm glad to see you have arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation when you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Yeah. There's just a million voices from the press, from other people. And they're just like hounding you with questions. It's the machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you've put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? I'm gonna say this one. I feel like it lines up best with what's being said. So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You need to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I'm trying to answer somewhat differently to the way I answered last time I played this. Apologize for leaving me. Do it. No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Sure. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Yeah, actually, now that these answers, these responses that you can choose from, they're so sounding like... God, they point back to the main story so much, more than I originally realized. My friends, it falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it has deliberately hurt us. God. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. I'm gonna go with 1, even though 2 sounds... it's so meta. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Or, follow me, we will destroy everything the machine has created. Oh god, both of those are terrible. I'll go with 2, but once again, because it like so links back to what's happening. Suddenly we're back on the stage. Except this time it's not so light. And we're given a gun. And when we shoot, it's the gun from the game at the start. Everything starts to get whited out. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Or, Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. Isn't that what you're scared of? Exposed to the view of others, every day, forever, seen in naked clarity.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people. To get some actual feedback on his games.
He misses the point of this game.
It might get him out of isolation.
So heavily. Oh.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral?
The
Would it
narrator
give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
has so heavily missed the point of the story of this game. Oh god, I fell through the floor.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Like, I don't know if it's just the way that I answered the questions for that last game, but the narrator totally misses the point of that last game. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
June 2011. I believe this is the last one. This is the last entry in this game. It's a bit like an office or a studio room, but it quickly changes.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Yeah.
This room actually has a maze in it.
That's right. I remember all this. If you walk through, like, if you just walk straight.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible.
Yeah.
And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Yeah, so we can keep doing that or we can just do this. This is the Davies edit, the narrator's edit. Just added some dev texture bridge over the top of the maze.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the
story should be...
You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever.
Right.
I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
See, the story should be becoming clearer now. Definitely now. There's a lot of evidence to the...
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
Yeah.
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Damn it. I was like, please don't let there be any ones. Damn it. 1 5. There we go. 1 5 1 6 1 7. There's 3 1s in that. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Yeah, so straight away the fact that I remembered that that cleaning game was supposed to be endless, and so that's why it took me by surprise a little bit that it just ended suddenly and all the walls disappeared and stuff like that, because it felt wrong. And I mean, yeah, I don't know if I got the story or understood what was happening by this point when I first played it, but knowing what I know, I feel like there's now at this point a lot of evidence to point out what the games are actually supposed to mean and what the actual reading of the games are.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
I love what the story does with the characters.
It's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mentioned the 3 dots at the start. I saw a bunch of them throughout the game, and I didn't point them out because there's not really much point to pointing them out. You can go back and catch them if you want. Oh, it's not something I'd seen before. Pink lines on the wall.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Yeah.
Where did I screw up?
Yeah, I mean, it's... We're about to see. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
I need to ask you to not to speak to me anymore.
Because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Yeah. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You're so infected. Oh.
The people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself Finally,
You've
for
so
a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Would you simply let them be what they are?
I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing.
You desperately need something.
Less than nothing.
And I cannot give it to you.
What does that mean?
I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, so. Oh dear. I forget what this is, what this part is. Whether it's a continuation of the previous puzzle, like map slash puzzle slash whatever, or if it's like something that's additional. I don't remember now.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Yeah. So I mean, if you don't get it by this point,
Solution.
I mean, it's pretty clear what's happening. This is one of those cool like transition things that Portal 2 Source Engine can do. There's only one carriage here, but look at that. it's a long train. Yeah. So I don't feel like I need to say anything about this because I feel like it should stand for itself.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Yeah, it's his need for there to be a solution to everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't think my explanation, even if I went into detail about my thoughts on this, I don't think...
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Yeah. I think my explanation wouldn't do it justice. I think leaving it up to what you want to think about it is more important than me giving an explanation. Much like the narrator in this game. It's not about me. Some of these environments that are in this epilogue are really interesting to me. I love some of the work they've done
If I
here.
knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Funny thing is, I used to be very good at that, but I've become worse as I've gotten older. I got better, and then I got worse. When I was in my teens, and around the time when I was making Portal Unity, I actually didn't care what people thought about me. I actually felt way more secure. I think I need to go, yeah.
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Yeah. Late high school, university, / when I started working, I actually felt the least care for what other people thought of me that I've ever felt in my life. When it comes to external validation. I was much worse when I was in my young teens age, and during, like, primary and junior high school and all that. I was much worse when it... Well, I worried about what people thought a lot more back then. And actually, because of things in my life recently, I've probably gone back, I've receded a little bit in that field. But to be fair, in many ways, I still don't really care. Like, I don't think I have issues with validation. I just have other problems which stem from external validation. But it's not directly external validation. That's the problem. Here I go making it about me. Doing exactly what the narrator's doing. I love these environments. I love this. This looks like a classic... What I feel like a classic train station, like a subway station would look like. Here's that laser again. For one of the first games that we ever played. Don't know why this gives me shivers, but it does. The scene is beautiful. Although I've got all sorts of what's that called? Anti-aliasing stuff going on here. Trying to approximate all these pixels.
Turn back. Turn back from this cave.
4R. Ooh, is it Rory?
Let me prove that I'm
Just kidding.
brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles.
I'll have to make sure this song isn't copyright claimed.
It's
beautiful.
You're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back. Turn back.
And there we have it. That was the beginner's guide. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those games that I feel like if I try to explain the game, that it will kind of... it'll ruin the point of the game. There's a few games that are like this, and I don't know how many of them... I don't think I've played any other games a bit like that are quite like this on the channel yet. But there are games that I've played that are like this before, and yeah, the sentiment remains true that trying to explain it and trying to describe what the narrator, or in this case like the narrator or coder or creator of the game intended, wouldn't do it justice and likely would be off. Like, my explanations are not great. Even when I'm editing myself, I often listen to what I'm saying and I'm like, you completely failed to make your point. So, out of fear of embarrassing myself right now, I'm going to say, that'll do. I'll leave it there. Tell me what you think about the game in the comments. I love this game. I think it's a masterpiece, personally. But yeah, let me know what you think of the game down below. Otherwise, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Let me know if you're personally interested in seeing a Stanley Parable playthrough, because that is definitely on the cards. I actually feel like this game worked better than I thought it would. I was afraid that this, with all the narration, would be difficult to record, and difficult to, like, you know, do commentary on and all that. But actually, I really enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed playing this for the channel. So, let me know if there are any other games like The Beginner's Guide that you want me to play. Once again, let me know if you want me to play The Stanley Parable. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and as always,